During the production, many a times there is lot of wastage of time and the production gets hampered. This is known as idle time. Friends, idle time represents loss of labor time when workers are paid on time basis. Some difference between the time for which they are paid and the time for which they are actually working bound to arise. This difference is known as idle time. Idle time is never good for an organization. It's always unfavorable, friends, so far as the increment of labor cost is concerned. So it has to be controlled, and in this video we are going to discuss on the phase idle time in the organization. Let's put this particular phase into a formula. Idle time is equal to the time for which the workers are paid minus the time for which they actually work at the production site. Thus, idle time represents the time for which they are actually paid, but no production is obtained for that particular period. Say, for example, the time lost between the factory gate and the production department of the production site where the workers are supposed to reach. Many a times, the premises are too big. The worker is received at the factory gate. From that point only the wage of the worker starts. He reaches to the production site. May it be possible that the 10 to 15 minutes time is lost while he reaches to the production site. Naturally, we can get the production done. For those 15 minutes, the time has been lost, and this time is known as the idle time. The tea breaks given to the workers or the employees. During that period, the work cannot be taken. So naturally, there is a loss of production during that particular period. Lunch time, loss of production is there, but it has to be given to the workers or the employees. Say, for example, many a times there is a machine maintenance, machine breakdown. Naturally, during this period, though the workers are present at the production site, the work or the production cannot be obtained. So this is another place wherein the worker may enjoy the wages, though there is a idle time, that is no production is done. So these are few examples. Let us discuss this phase with few more details. Let us discuss about the different causes which occur due to the idle time. Now, first important is the productive causes. We are going to discuss what are the reasons of productive causes in the upcoming slide. Second important is administrative causes. And third is economic causes. Let us discuss one by one all these reasons. Let us discuss one by one the productive causes. The productive causes can be classified as, for example, the idle time may arise due to the machine breakdown, or it may arise due to the power failure. Friends, may it be the machine breakdown, may it be the power failure, may it be the machine maintenance. The worker is at production site, they are already arrived, but the production is yet to start because of our own problems. Naturally, we have to pay them. Thirdly, waiting for the tools or raw material, then waiting for the work or waiting for the instructions is another good reason why there can be the idle time. We can't call it a good reason because that is going to incur additional labor cost, because we have to pay for the period during which no production could take place. Many a times there is a waiting from the labor side for the tools, may it be the raw material, may it be the work, that is job, may it be the instructions to be given by the supervisor or foreman. Naturally, there can be a gap into the actual work and the actual payment. This may create the idle time because the workers are not doing anything, they are idle and they are supposed to be paid. Friends, how can we control these productive causes? The idle time due to productive causes is usually controlled by proper planning, strict supervision, and proper maintenance of the plant and machinery. If we know that we are supposed to initiate the work, we will be ready with the raw material, we will be ready with the tools, we will be ready with the supervisor and foreman to give the instructions. We are ready with the job work. That is, a proper planning and strict supervision can be done. If we know that the work is to be initiated, we will take care of the machinery, will maintain the machine, we will take care that there is no power failure, and in case there is a power failure under those circumstances, we can have a backup idea to initiate the production and there is no interruption. So this is how we are in a position to control the idle time which may create because of the productive causes. The second important cause reason is administrative cause for the idle time. That is, idle time is sometimes caused by the administrative decisions. For example, when there is a surplus capacity of plant and machinery and still the management decides not to work, there may be a idle time due to administrative decisions. This usually happens during the depression when some of the machines have got to work below the normal capacity and the regular workers are paid full amount of wages though they are not working or they are working under capacity. This is because the management does not want to get rid of the trained workers or the skilled workers temporarily. Such idle time arises out of abnormal situations and is not generally controlled. Third important cause for idle time is the economic reason or economic cause. The idle time may also be caused by fall in the demand of the product, say due to the severe competition. Seasonal nature of the certain industry such as woolen industry, ice cream industry, etc., where the production cannot be evenly distributed throughout the year. In such cases, it is not possible to get rid of the workers during the slack season. Such a surplus labor force is usually utilized for doing some other jobs. And if such complementary jobs cannot be found, there will be some idle time, which is beyond the control. Friends, it is necessary to give the treatment to the idle time. Well, from the point of view of giving the treatment in cost accounts, we have to divide idle time into two. We have to classify it into normal and abnormal. Normal idle time is the wastage of labor time which cannot be avoided. It is unavoidable and has to be borne by the employer. Example, the time which elapses between the completion of one job and commencement of the next. The time taken in going from the factory gate to the production site or the department in which the worker is engaged. The time which is required for the personal needs. The time spent in settings, may it be the lunch time, may it be the tea time, which has been given to the worker for getting freshen up. So this is the normal idle time, which is unavoidable, which cannot be avoided. Now let's know how this normal idle time is treated. The cost of normal idle time may be treated in either of the following two ways. One, it can be charged to the direct cost. The wage rate is inflated so as to make the allowance for normal loss of labor time. Thus, if the worker's production time is only 7 hours during an 8 hours day, his hourly rate of pay is rupees 3. The inflated wage rate will be 8 divided by 7 into 3, that is rupees 3.43 per hour. Means it gets inflated. The second method is not considered very desirable, as the cost of idle time should be treated separately instead of being absorbed as a part of direct labor cost. In this way, it can prove more helpful for the purpose of controlling and reducing it to the minimum. The second is abnormal idle time. This is that idle time which arises due to the reasons in no way connected with the usual routine of manufacture. They are not concerned with the usual routine of manufacture, and they arise, and this has to be paid by the manufacturer or the employer compulsorily. Say for example, time lost due to the breakdown of machinery. May it be the strike, may it be the lockout, time lost in waiting for tools or raw material, the accident which takes place in the organization. May it be the time lost due to the person who is supposed to give the instruction is coming late to the production site. Friends, abnormal idle time is attributed due to the defective planning, inefficiency, or bad luck, or payment of such idle time is not included in the cost. It has to be charged to costing, profit and loss account. As we know, idle time is always unfavorable. It is always adverse so far as the organization is concerned, because there is a additional payment which has to be done to the workers or the employees, for which no production could be obtained. Naturally, this phase has to be recovered. From the control point of view, the idle time should be divided into controllable and uncontrollable factors. The idle time which arises due to the controllable causes should be properly analyzed. The responsibility should be fixed on the individual. Say for example, the supervisor comes late to the production site, because of which the production has been hampered. Naturally, there has to be a barrier which has been created for the supervisor. He has to come in time so that he gives proper instructions well in time to the workers and get the works done. It is advisable to prepare the idle time card showing the analysis of the idle time so that action may be taken wherever necessary. The important steps to be taken in order to control the idle time. The production should be properly planned so that the imbalances in the production can be avoided or reduced. Secondly, repairs and maintenance of the plant and machinery should be regularly undertaken so as to avoid the breakdowns, machine failures. Raw material, tools and instructions should reach to the workers well in time so that no time is wasted in the waiting. Supervision should be tightened so that workers do not waste time while they are working. If at all the gap between the factory gate and production site is less, that time also can be saved. So, friends, there are many ways how we can come out of the situation of idle time, and we are in a position to convert the time into the productive time. If at all we can do this, we should go for it and make the production venture as a fruitful venture, a advantageous venture, and leading to the profitability.